Hello and good day to everyone that is really tuning in here at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Once again, I'm going to be Duane, the host for today's episode, and right now we have yet another exciting episode. This time with a very special guest, and I guess one of the most talented in regards to real estate within his field. But I'm more introduction to him by himself, of course. So without further ado, our guest for today, Boyd, how are you doing today? And tell us what is the best breakfast for you to eat?
I'm doing great. Best breakfast for me to eat. Actually, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is I chug a big glass of water. And then I take my vitamins, and that's my breakfast.
Vitamins as a breakfast. I mean, you can't get any healthier than that.
Yeah, correct.
And I guess do you take coffee as well? Or do you just drink some water in the morning?
I wait an hour before I have my first cup of coffee. And then I'll have a cup of coffee after that first hour.
Okay. You know what? I've yet to see a real estate agent that do not drink coffee in the morning. I don't know. I guess it's a business kind of. Oh, see, you're quite ready to go, and I guess that shows that being in the business of real estate is quite an actively demanding job. Knowing that it's not something that you need to be awake and stuff, and pretty much as energetic as you can be. Well, that being said, so how did you got into real estate firstly?
So I got into real estate. My mom, ever since I was 18, wanted me to get into real estate investing with her. So she bought, I'm probably going to date myself here. She bought Carlton Sheets when I was 18 and gave it to me. And it was all about real estate investing and that. So she kept bugging me. And finally, when I was about 24, I ended up going to get my license.
So like 6 years, your mom has been trying to convince you to become the real estate, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a common thing about every household, but kids when they're growing up, their parents want them to be doctors, engineers, astronauts, or like pilots. That's pretty much the usual field of things that their parents wanted to be. But a real estate agent at 18, that is quite interesting. How did the idea came up to you? Like, I mean, it took you 6 years to be convinced to be fully a real estate, or were you already convinced to the idea of becoming a real estate agent, or was there something that eventually
Yeah, so it was more she wanted to invest in real estate and do something that we could do together. So that was kind of the push, and then finally I just said, all right, let's go do it. And I went and got my real estate license and tried to just do that for a little bit. And it took a year or two to really kind of get my feet under me. And then we went out and we bought our first investment property after a couple years and got into that and started doing that full time and left residential, like selling residential real estate, and strictly did investing for probably about 8 years. And then went back into selling retail after a while because I had so many people coming up to me and said, hey, can you help me buy or sell my house? And I kept telling them, no, I just have my license for investing. And I sat down one day and did the math on how much money I was leaving on the table. And I was like, all right, this is dumb. And I started going back into the residential side and helping people buy and sell homes.
It's quite funny because a lot of, would-be real estate agents would have trouble getting their first clients, but you, on the other hand, you get people actually reaching out to you like, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway, since a lot of people have been doing it. And that's a funny being.
I mean, it's funny because once people started knowing what I was doing and I was investing and buying and selling homes, everyone wanted to ask me about it and how they can get into it, and then start talking about buying and selling their own homes and their personal homes as well as investments. So it's really just it was word of mouth that really kind of drove that traffic.
Word of mouth, yeah. It's one of the one of the oldest and one of the most effective marketing tool, and it's free as far as costs go. So that's an amazing thing to good. But it's quite it could be a hit or miss in regards to word of mouth, but it will show once you've actually done your quality in terms of your work ethics and how you do your service. And that being said, so what do you think was your X factor or any kind of superpower in business that you have that makes you think that it made you stand out, basically?
So, back then with word of mouth, this is back before Facebook and social media and all those things, right? This is, 2000 to 2008, basically. So really, when I started doing the retail side and really working with buyers and sellers, I started utilizing social media way back then. It's funny, I just saw a post on Facebook yesterday. It was from 11 years ago with my real estate sign with a QR code on it. Like, I don't even think anyone knew what a QR code was 11 years ago. And now, like, they're everywhere. So I've always tried to stay at the forefront of things. And social media has been huge for helping us build our business, for sure.
I guess being in with the flow, like embracing the change that happens and the developments within the real estate world in general really helps out, because I guess a lot of agents tends to be, I'm not sure if old-fashioned is the right word for it, but they tend to yeah, that's pretty much. But again, the world is changing, the world is developing, and I guess 11 years ago, marketing is quite different from effective marketing is different from what effective marketing would be right now. And you mentioned social media as, I guess, one of the, if not the most strongest marketing tool that that is pretty much one of your biggest strengths. What?
Yeah, I mean, we use social media to create leads, all day long, and we probably get 15, 20, 25 leads in a day from Facebook and Google PPC and all sorts of different, social media, everything from TikTok to LinkedIn to whatever. And it's all, that's really our superpower, is driving that traffic and driving those leads in for my team to be able to work and succeed.
Okay, I mean, and with success, of course, with social media and any kind of marketing tools in general in your business, there should have been some hiccups, or I would say failures as well, that happened. So if you can share with us, what were your biggest failures or failure, and something that the biggest lesson that you've learned from it?
So the biggest lesson I learned, actually, I learned this at a Spear Rocket Mastermind in Fort Lauderdale. And at the time, I owned an independent real estate company. We were doing 500 transactions a year for $100 million in production. So we were selling a ton of numbers. But the thing that kind of stood out to me is Justin asked what our net was, right? And that, you can make all the money in the world, but if it's all going out the door and you're not keeping any, then what's it matter? So that really was a wake-up call to me, and I ended up actually closing up that brokerage, or selling my interest in that brokerage, I should say, and then moving over to Keller Williams and starting a team and building everything based off of what what a real estate company or business should look like, and the profit margins that a real estate company should have.
I guess building a team is also one of the more, if not the most challenging part of building a business, because building your team means choosing people that would match your ideals and making sure that everyone work with the same kind of mindset, if not the same, at least someone that supports one another in terms of that mindset. And in your team right now, how many people do you have?
So I started my team a year ago. I had 13. Unfortunately, one of my team members just passed, but very tragic. But I've got 12 right now.
I thought that you laid off or quit, but actually passed.
Yeah.
That is quite an.
He was 21 years old. He just started with us. He was transitioning. He was a plumbing apprentice, and it was basically quitting that job to do real estate full time. And unfortunately, a pipe burst and killed him. So
Uh, that's life, unfortunately, but you know, what happens
Yeah,
happens, and
it's been a difficult thing to deal with, but you know,
yeah.
it's
And if
right.
you don't mind me asking, so in your team, do you currently have any are all of your team members in-house, or do you currently also have any virtual assistants within your team?
So my 12 team of 12 is all agents, and my agent assist, and then I have 4 VAs that work for me in capacity. I have 1 admin, 2 ISAs, and a marketing VA.
And how many of them are virtual assistants, or they are
4
in-house?
virtual, yeah.
Oh,
So
4 of them are virtual assistants. I
yep,
see.
yeah. So in addition to the 12, I have 4 virtual assistants, so 16 total on the team, if you counting my VAs.
You know what? A lot of people I've been asking and talking to people here, they have trust issues in terms of getting virtual assistants because a lot of them would tend to go on with people that they see in the office, like face to face, so they can see what they do. And there's a lot of risk factors, I would say, that goes along hiring a virtual assistant. So in your case, what made you jump the jump the trigger in regards to having a virtual assistant, like working with someone like 1,000 miles away from you?
So I learned a long time ago that in order to grow and to really have major growth, you need to be hands off. You need to trust, um, and you need to be able to take that workload and divvy it out to other people, so you can concentrate on moving the company forward. Right. So as far as getting through, yeah, it was a little scary at first, but I mean, my admin assistant's been with me now for 4 years. Um, so she was with me at the other place and came over here, and she's been absolutely amazing. And if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have the growth that we had. I started from scratch with my team with 0 people a year ago, and now I've got 12 team members, and we're rocking and rolling. So if it wouldn't have been for her, and then adding our 2 ISAs just a couple months ago, and now I've got my marketing person, like we're set to go to that next level.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing to do. I mean, 4 years in a virtual assistant is actually quite long in regards to a lot of other virtual assistants' work lifespan, I would say. And that being said, so if you can rate from 1 to 10, how much does having a VA like impact in scaling up your business?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, if I were to take all the tasks that and count up the number of hours I would have to spend in order to do the things that I have my VAs doing, there's not enough hours in the day. It's just, I've got two ISAs that are calling 8 hours a day and making 300-400 phone calls a day. That's just right there. That's more than I can do in one day. Then you add on top all the admin work that's being done, and now my marketing person, who's absolutely amazing. Like, I'm extremely
Life
blessed.
changing.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
life changing a lot of times here, because it's true. Like the concept is very true in regards. Like I've heard one of Justin's talks saying that you can focus on doing what you're good at, and that is closing deals, and you can leave the gritty grunty stuff to other people. You can pay like quarter of what you would usually pay someone, and it works out. But I guess the challenge of getting the right virtual assistant, is to get the right person, and that's pretty much one of I guess Fear Rocket's specialties in regards of matching the right virtual assistant with the right client, because it's just more than having the best kind of skill set, but the character definitely needs to match up with the client to make sure that they're always on the same page in terms of development, and especially how you handle the calls. And that I guess you would have that kind of business branding or something that would make your business connected with that with the agent that's doing the calls. And in regards to the business, so how many years have you been in the industry again?
24.
20. Oh, wow. It doesn't show your age. I don't know. You look a lot younger than someone doing 24 years in the real estate. But
Yeah,
if you
basically
would
half
go
my
back,
life.
yeah, it must have been the vitamins that you've been taking in the morning. That's how you're maintaining that.
That or the
But
coffee, one of the two.
yes, and yeah, as I was gonna ask, so if you would go back in time to when you're about to start real estate, what advice would you give to yourself?
Don't be a secret agent. That's the number one thing is new agents are so afraid to let people know that they're a real estate agent and ask for business and talk to people about real estate. And I did the same thing with my first year or two. I was like, oh, I might sell real estate, and once I started, actually people found out that I was buying and selling houses, and because I was talking to them about that, now they were coming to me. So it's just making sure that everyone knows that you're an agent, and constantly staying in front of them and reminding them, hey, I'm a real estate agent.
I guess that is a thing that's more common than I thought. Like being shy as an agent, I guess, especially for people that are starting up, they don't want people to know that they're agents because, oh, he or she's just gonna try to sell me something every time. But you need to embrace what you are, what you're doing. You're an agent, you're a sales agent, so you need to be. Confidence is definitely one of the strongest characters that you should have. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'll wait till I know everything. Well, you're never gonna know everything, so you may as well just get out there and do it.
Yeah, better to step out of your comfort zone and fail and learn from your failures. It's a lot of trial and error to find the perfect kind of formula. And I guess for you yourself, you would still say that you don't know so much about real estate because, again, it's a constantly developing thing. I mean, the only person who knows everything is no one or someone who's just too full of himself. So, yeah. Just.
Yeah. I mean, I've like you said, I've been doing this about half a century, and I still don't know everything, right? And the other advice I would give to newer agents is don't try and figure it out yourself. Go get on a team, go learn from someone that's already done it, learn from them what they did to be successful, and just replicate that and then make it your own, right? I see so many agents, that I think what's the stats are like 80% of new agents get out of the business in the first year. It's hard, especially that first year, to really make it in this business if you don't have someone that's providing all the systems, all the accountability, everything that you need to be successful. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate or you're a new agent and you're struggling, go talk to a team, get on a team, and you'll learn so much from that rainmaker or that team leader that's going to help you not just now, but for decades to come in business.
Definitely. I've talked to this one agent that he thought that he was doing the right thing, like going by the book. And then once he met his coach, he told me it made him go up like 10 years ahead in terms of the time that we were doing. He wasn't aware of that until he just met this person. So I guess it's same with what you get on a team, because two heads are better than one. Being in a team means you learn a lot more than.
Yeah, you're going to get all that coaching and all that knowledge from that person that's already where you want to be, right? Most agents want to lead a team. So why not go and learn how to do that from someone that actually is doing it?
Exactly. I guess staying out of the comfort. It plays along staying out of the comfort zone. And I guess one last question before we head on for a short commercial break is, almost quarter of a century in the business. So it has to be more than just, making money, making commissions. There has to be something more about, something more than the money. So what makes you do what you do beyond money?
It's changing people's lives. I really, to be able to take, someone, I've got a kid that I think he just turned 19 and he's making six figures. And he started off, and his mom was a single mom, very low income. He's talking about now he's looking at buying his mom a house. That's not just changing his life, that's changing his whole family dynamic and their lives. So to be able to teach people that, and to help people accomplish that big life change, and I've been blessed to be able to do it multiple times with probably almost 100 agents now that are I get to watch them and their success all over our area, and know that hey, I trained that person, or I might lose a listing appointment to one of them, and it's like, oh well, at least I lost to the student's now the teacher, right? So it's fun to be able to get with them and still talk to a lot of them that are in the business, successful, whether they're on my team or they've gone off to do their own thing, to watch that and really watch how their lives have changed for the better, going from making $30,000-$40,000 a year to $300,000-$400,000 a year. Like I said, it's not just changing their lives, it's changing their whole family's lives, and that's really why I'm here.
I guess that's the essence of true happiness. It's not buying things or getting the material things for yourself, but how you help people, seeing how you change the life of people. I guess that's the kind of happiness that lasts a really long time. So I guess that's one of the secrets of staying and being successful in the business, just doing it, not just close deals, but of course help people as well, and as well as fellow agents to help out for the next generation of real estate agents in the business. So we're just going to hit it off with a short commercial break. And after this, we'll just have a few more questions before we conclude the podcast. So this is it for the commercial.
Overwhelmed with work? Well, meet your new partner from Sphere Rocket VA. In just a click, get matched with a virtual assistant who handles all the tedious tasks. No in-person hiring, no extra office gear, just easy online help from our recruitment team. It's like having an extra pair of hands minus the hassle. So ready to relax and see your work done just like magic? Choose Sphere Rocket VA and visit us at www.sphererocketva.com.
Okay, and we are back at the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network with the lovely Boyd. I always keep thinking that your name is Boyd for some reason, but okay, there's a D. Okay, it's Boyd. Okay, that's
right. Yep.
I keep missing that out, but yeah, it's nice. Hopefully, you're still doing good in the podcast. No pressure, not getting too sleepy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All good. And yeah, I guess for this segment, it's more about your business. So, being quarter of a century in the business, can you tell us more about the services that you do and maybe how to contact and reach out to you?
So what we specialize in is we actually have our whole thing with the Mirelo Team is your move your way. So we offer a variety of different commission packages to people to be able to select. So, some people are very, the amount of commission or what they spend on commission is very important to them. So, they want to spend as little as possible. So we have packages for that, all the way up to the people that they want white glove service and they don't want to have to lift a finger. And, we have people for that as well, or packages for that as well. So everything from changing all their utilities over for them to ranging movers to, cleaning the house, getting the house clean, getting the windows done, whatever it is they need, we can take care of that. And, so there's a great range for them to be able to select from, a low commission package, even all the way to, we even have a package that's zero commission out of pocket for people. So, so they can go from 0 to 7 or 8%, depending on what they want in their services. And then on top of that, we also offer several cash offer options for people that they don't want to deal with people in and out of their house. They don't want to deal with the whole negotiating back and forth. They just want to be done. And so we provide those options as well.
And of course, before we end the podcast episode, is there anything you would like to promote? Maybe your socials, and as I've asked earlier, your contact number for people who are interested. And which areas do you cover?
So we cover the Metro Detroit area for the Mirelo Team, and Actually, I just got licensed in Florida, and the Relo Experts covers the majority of Florida. We've got. I was blessed to have some great partner agents down there that we can basically cover from the top of Florida all the way down to the Keys. So yeah, anywhere in Metro Detroit area, even up to all the way down to Florida, and then hopefully a couple more states coming soon.
Couple more states coming soon. You talk about it like it's like, okay, it's another week, another state. I guess that's shows how bad the business goes.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting because that's the whole excitement about this business is building and building your business and be able to do it again. That's the exciting part for me.
Yes, so, scaling up
and being able to bring what we bring to the table to people, not just here locally, but in others, Florida and other states soon to come as well.
See, and your contact numbers, so maybe our listeners would like to reach out to you.
They can reach out to me at 734-338-8455, or they can reach me at boydrudy.com. It's my first name at firstnamelastname.com. So
can't get any simpler than that. Your email address. There's nothing longer. So yeah, but just in case, we'll keep that. We'll get that posted as we upload this episode. And I guess that would be the end of our podcast episode for today. Boyd, it has been an amazing episode with you. I've also learned quite a lot of things within this episode, and I hope it's the same goes with our listeners. And Boyd, do you want anyone you wanted to shout out before we conclude this?
Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come on and be on the podcast, and shout out to all of my team members that are absolutely crushing it and hitting their goals every day. And without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
I was so muted, but yeah, and that is Boyd Rudy, everyone, and we'll hope to see you again in the next episode, only here at the Spirit Rocket Podcast Network. Goodbye, everyone. As a kid, he was being convinced by his mom for the longest period of time to become a real estate agent. After 6 years, he was able to finally be a real estate agent and become one of the successful ones in the state. How was he able to achieve it? And he's been in the business for the 25 years. Well, we'll know in this episode.